Hey everyone, ready to dive deep into the mind of a legend. Today we're going to be exploring the philosophy of Bruce Lee.
Oh, yeah.
But not the, high kicks and flying fists that you might be expecting. We're going on a journey into inner combat, unpacking the wisdom Bruce Lee shared about conquering the opponents we all face, the ones living rent-free inside our own minds.
It's so fascinating how Bruce Lee, a master of physical combat, recognized that the toughest battles are often fought within.
Yeah.
He used his martial arts expertise as a way to guide us towards self-mastery, something that goes way beyond just physical strength.
For sure. Our source for this deep dive is a YouTube video called Bruce Lee, Your Greatest Enemy is Within, from the channel Bruce Lee Reimagined. And I have to admit, when I first saw the title, I pictured Bruce Lee battling like some shadowy figure inside his head, but it's much deeper than that, isn't it?
Absolutely. The video uses this core analogy of the greatest enemy within to explore how the principles of martial arts can be applied to conquering self-doubt, fear, and that ever-present ego.
The video starts with this really powerful image. Bruce Lee on the floor after a sparring match.
Oh.
Teeth cracked, realizing it wasn't his opponent who defeated him, but a moment of pride. It really sets the stage for the idea that those internal struggles can be way more challenging than any external opponent.
Yeah, it's like he's saying mastering the outer world starts with mastering the inner one.
Right.
And to do that, we need to understand who those inner opponents are, right?
Exactly. So who are these inner opponents that Bruce Lee wants us to fight? The video mentions three: the perfectionist, the doubter, and the ego.
Let's start with the perfectionist. This is the opponent who whispers in your ear, telling you everything has to be flawless, that any mistake is a failure. It can be so crippling that you end up procrastinating or avoiding challenges altogether. What's interesting is that Bruce Lee himself struggled with perfectionism in his training. He shares an anecdote in the video about pushing himself too hard, leading to injury. Even Bruce Lee, a martial arts icon, had to learn to manage this inner opponent.
That's such an important point. It's easy to think these challenges only apply to us mere mortals, but even someone like Bruce Lee faced them. So if the perfectionist is all about fear of failure, what about the doubter?
The doubter is the master of undermining your confidence and feeding your insecurities. Imagine that nagging voice saying, you're not talented enough.
Oh, yeah.
Not smart enough, not worthy of success. The video mentions how Bruce Lee faced this opponent when he first arrived in Hollywood and was told he was too Asian for lead roles.
Wow, I hadn't thought about it that way. So the perfectionist makes you afraid to try, and the doubter makes you afraid to believe in yourself. What about the ego?
The ego might be the trickiest opponent of all. The video clarifies that this isn't just about arrogance, but about the subtle trap of believing you've already arrived, that you know enough. Imagine you've climbed to the top of a mountain. You think you've conquered it all. But Bruce Lee suggests there's a danger in that mindset. It's when we think we've arrived that we stop climbing, stop growing.
It's like the ego makes you think you've won the battle when the journey of self-mastery is actually an ongoing one. Okay, so we've met our opponents, the perfectionist, the doubter, and the ego. But how do we actually fight them? This is where the video gets really interesting. Bruce Lee outlines several principles and practices for inner combat, and they're way more than just typical self-help tips.
For sure.
He starts with the principle of using no way as way, which sounds a bit paradoxical.
Yeah, it does. What does that even mean?
I know, right?
Think of it this way. You're facing a wall. Instead of repeatedly slamming against it, you learn to become water, finding a way around, over, or even under the obstacle. That's Bruce Lee's approach to life's challenges. Instead of clinging to rigid methods, it's about embracing adaptability and fluidity.
Speaking of stepping into our fears, Bruce Lee had a fascinating approach to overcoming challenges, which he called the progressive challenge system. Can you tell me more about that?
The progressive challenge system is all about taking action, even when you don't feel completely ready. It's about understanding that facing your fears head-on is often the best way to overcome them.
That sounds a lot easier said than done. How does it actually work?
It's about breaking down a big, scary goal into smaller, more manageable steps. Think of it like climbing a mountain. You don't start at the summit, do you?
Yeah.
You start with a base camp and gradually work your way up. Each small step builds your confidence and momentum, proving to yourself that you can do it.
So if I'm terrified of public speaking, I wouldn't jump straight into giving a keynote address.
Exactly. You might start by practicing your presentation skills in front of a mirror,
Okay.
then with a close friend, then maybe a small group. Gradually increasing the challenge helps you build confidence and skills along the way.
That makes sense. It's about building resilience and proving to myself that I can handle those uncomfortable situations. What other practices does Bruce Lee suggest for cultivating inner strength?
He talks about the importance of honest self-expression, urging you to delve deep into your true self, free from the masks you wear for the world. It's about asking yourself, who are you really? Beneath the layers of societal expectations and self-imposed limitations.
That sounds a bit like those find yourself retreats where everyone goes off to the woods and stares into a fire. Is that what he means?
Not necessarily. It's more about becoming aware of the things that truly drive you, the values that matter most to you.
Okay.
And then finding ways to express those authentically in your daily life.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. It's not about running away to find yourself, but about digging deeper into who you are right now and expressing that honestly.
Exactly. Bruce Lee compares this process of self-discovery to a bamboo bending in the storm.
It's about being flexible and adaptable, not rigid and unyielding in the face of challenges. He also recommends a personal audit, which sounds a bit intimidating. Is this where I need to hire an accountant for my soul?
I don't think it's quite that complicated. What does a personal audit involve?
It's actually a simple daily practice of journaling. But instead of just writing about your day, you focus on your fears, hesitations, and moments of weakness. Bruce Lee's point is that you can't overcome what you don't acknowledge.
Yeah.
By facing your fears head on, you can start to understand them and ultimately transcend them.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about shining a light on those shadows instead of trying to pretend they don't exist.
Exactly. Think of it like gathering intelligence on your opponent before you go into battle. You need to understand their strengths and weaknesses to develop a winning strategy.
Oh.
The same goes for your inner opponents.
Okay.
By understanding them, you gain power over them.
Can you give an example of what a personal audit entry might look like?
Absolutely. Imagine you're facing a fear of public speaking. In your journal, write down the worst-case scenario.
Yeah.
That's the absolute worst thing that could happen. Then explore the root of that fear. Is it a past experience, a fear of judgment, a lack of confidence in your material? By dissecting your fear, you gain power over it.
That's actually a really helpful exercise. I can see how writing it down and really analyzing those fears could help to take away their power. What about the water meditation? That sounds pretty intriguing.
This is a visualization exercise that Bruce Lee recommends for cultivating the qualities of water. Adaptability, fluidity, and the ability to overcome any obstacle. It's about finding a quiet space and imagining yourself as water, flowing effortlessly around any obstacle in your path.
This idea of a water meditation is intriguing. Could you walk me through how that actually works?
Absolutely. Find a quiet place where you can relax comfortably. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Imagine yourself as water. Feel the coolness and fluidity of water as it flows over your body. Picture yourself moving with the current, effortlessly navigating around any rocks or obstacles in your path. Embrace the feeling of being adaptable, flexible, and capable of overcoming any challenge.
Okay, I'm starting to feel more relaxed already. That's a really powerful visualization.
Yeah.
It really highlights the key principles of being like water.
Exactly. It's about embodying those qualities in your mind and body.
Right.
Bruce Lee also emphasizes the importance of the empty cup practice.
What's that about? Is it just a fancy way of saying I should drink more tea?
Not quite. Think of it as hitting the reset button each day, approaching life with a beginner's mind.
Oh.
It's about letting go of past achievements and limiting beliefs to embrace new possibilities.
So it's about approaching each day with fresh eyes, open to new experiences and insights.
Exactly. Bruce Lee believed that true mastery is not about attaining a fixed state of perfection, but rather about embracing the continuous journey of growth and self-discovery.
It's about letting go of the need to be right all the time and being open to learning new things. I like that.
Yeah.
So we've covered the principles, the practices, but there's one more element to this inner combat system, right? The ultimate challenge.
Yes. This is where Bruce Lee puts all the pieces together and offers a roadmap for putting these principles and practices into action.
Okay.
He challenges you to engage in a 7-day battle for your authentic self.
This 7-day challenge sounds intense. It's not about beating myself up, is it?
Not at all. It's about breaking free from the illusion of perfection and embracing who you truly are. Bruce Lee emphasizes that this is the most important fight you'll ever face.
Right.
The fight for the freedom to be your authentic self.
It's about fighting for the freedom to be who I truly am, imperfections and all. I love that.
Yeah.
But what does this 7-day challenge actually involve?
Each day of the challenge focuses on a specific aspect of inner combat. On day 1, the focus is on non-judgmental observation of the self. It's about becoming aware of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without labeling them as good or bad.
Sounds like a mindfulness practice, being present in the moment without the usual inner critic chiming in.
Exactly. It's about creating space between your thoughts and your reactions, allowing you to observe yourself with more clarity and objectivity. Day 2 is about understanding self-criticism.
Okay.
It's about recognizing those moments when the inner critic emerges and responding with compassion rather than resistance.
So it's about shifting my relationship with my inner critic, treating it more like a curious observer than a harsh judge.
What about day 3?
Day 3 is where you start to put the using no way is way in water principle into action. It's about taking action despite not feeling ready, stepping outside of your comfort zone and challenging the perfectionist within.
That's a bit scary. Any tips for how to approach this day?
Think about something you've been putting off because you're afraid of failing or not being good enough.
It could be as simple as signing up for that dance class you've been wanting to try, or having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. The key is to take one small step, even if it feels uncomfortable.
So it's about proving to myself that I can take action even when I don't feel completely prepared.
Exactly. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. The important thing is to learn from them and keep moving forward. On day 4, the challenge shifts to breaking a pattern that serves your idealized self rather than your true expression.
This is about identifying those behaviors or habits that I cling to because I think they make me look good or successful even if they don't align with my authentic self.
Precisely. What are some of the masks you wear that might not be serving your true self?
That's a good question. I think I often try to please everyone and avoid conflict, even if it means sacrificing my own needs or opinions.
That's a common one. Day 4 is about challenging that pattern and finding ways to assert yourself more authentically.
So instead of trying to be the nice guy all the time, I could focus on communicating my needs more directly and setting healthy boundaries.
Exactly. It's about finding a balance between being considerate of others and honoring your own needs.
Okay, what about day 5?
Day 5 builds on that idea by encouraging you to choose authentic expression over perfect performance in all your interactions.
This is about showing up as my true self, embracing my imperfections, and connecting with others on a deeper level.
Precisely. It's about letting go of the need to always say the right thing or to appear flawless.
Yeah.
It's about being present, engaged, and genuine in your interactions with others.
I love that. It's about embracing those awkward moments and not taking myself too seriously.
Exactly. Day 6 gets really interesting. It's about deliberately doing something imperfectly and welcoming the discomfort.
Wait, what? You're telling me to intentionally mess things up?
Think of it as a playful experiment. It could be as simple as trying a new recipe without worrying about whether it turns out perfectly.
Okay.
Or wearing a mismatched outfit just to see how it feels. It's about challenging the perfectionist within by embracing imperfection as part of the human experience.
So it's about letting go of the need for control and embracing the messiness of life.
Exactly. It's about proving to yourself that you can survive, even thrive, amidst imperfection.
And finally, we reach day 7.
Day 7 is a day of celebration. It's about standing before the mirror and acknowledging the courage it took to face your inner opponents, to challenge your limiting beliefs, and to choose authenticity over the illusion of perfection.
It sounds like a victory lap after a grueling but ultimately rewarding battle. But what happens after the 7 days are over? Does the fight for self-mastery ever really end?
That's a great question, and it brings us to the heart of Bruce Lee's philosophy. The journey to self-mastery is not about reaching a destination, but about embracing the process of continuous growth and evolution.
So it's not about winning a final battle, but about becoming the kind of person who can navigate the inevitable challenges of life with grace, resilience, and authenticity.
Precisely. It's about developing the inner strength and flexibility to adapt to whatever life throws your way, just like water finding its path through any obstacle.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful so far. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of Bruce Lee's philosophy of inner combat.
There's so much more to explore, particularly in how these principles and practices can be applied to your daily life. We'll delve deeper into that in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
But for now, I encourage you to reflect on what we've discussed so far.
Yes. What resonated with you most? Which of these inner opponents do you struggle with the most? And what are some small steps you can take today to begin your own journey towards inner mastery?
Remember, the greatest victory isn't in becoming perfect, but in becoming real. As Bruce Lee wisely said, be water, my friend. Be yourself.
As we've been talking about Bruce Lee's philosophy, I've been thinking about how much emphasis he puts on being like water. It comes up again and again in this video, and it's such a powerful metaphor.
It really is. Water's adaptable, fluid. It finds a way around any obstacle without resistance.
Right.
And Bruce Lee encourages us to embody those qualities in our own lives.
I get the concept in theory, but what does it actually look like to be like water in everyday life? Does that mean I should just go with the flow all the time and never stand up for what I believe in?
That's a great question. And it's a common misconception about this principle, being like, water isn't about being passive or letting others walk all over you. It's about finding a balance between strength and flexibility.
So it's not about being a pushover, but about having the wisdom to know when to bend and when to stand firm.
Exactly. Think about a tree in a storm.
Okay.
A rigid tree is more likely to snap under pressure, while a flexible tree bends with the wind and survives. It's the same with us. When we're too rigid in our thinking, too attached to our plans,
Right.
we're more likely to break when things don't go our way.
That makes sense. It's about having the resilience to adapt to whatever life throws at you.
Exactly. Being like water is also about recognizing that life is constantly changing.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be willing to flow with those changes rather than clinging to the past.
That reminds me of that empty cup practice we talked about earlier. Letting go of past achievements and limiting beliefs to embrace new possibilities.
Precisely.
Mm.
It's all about having that beginner's mind, that openness to new experiences and perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
If your cup is already full, you can't learn anything new.
So it's about having the humility to admit that we don't know everything and the willingness to keep learning and growing throughout our lives.
Absolutely. And that's a key element of Bruce Lee's philosophy. He saw self-mastery not as a destination, but as a journey.
A journey that requires us to constantly face our inner opponents and choose authenticity over the illusion of perfection.
Right. And he reminds us that this isn't about beating ourselves up, but about fighting for the freedom to be who we truly are.
We've talked a lot about the principles and the practices,
Right.
but I want to go back to that 7-day challenge. The video frames each day as a specific battle in the fight for our authentic selves.
Yes. It's a powerful way to put those concepts into action. Day 1, as you recall, is about facing our reflection without judgment, just observing ourselves with a neutral eye.
It's about creating that space between our thoughts and our reactions so we can become more aware of those patterns of self-criticism.
And on day 2, we take a closer look at those critical thoughts. Instead of resisting them, we try to understand where they come from and respond with compassion.
It's about recognizing that self-doubt is a normal human experience,
Right.
and it doesn't have to control us. Then on day 3, we take action.
Right. It's about challenging the perfectionist by doing something, however small, that our perfect self would tell us we're not ready for.
It could be anything from having a difficult conversation to finally starting that creative project we've been putting off. The key is to take that first step. What about day 4?
Day 4 is about identifying those patterns that serve our idealized image, but not our true selves.
Like trying to please everyone all the time or pretending to be something we're not?
Exactly. And then on day 5, we bring that authenticity into all our interactions.
Yeah.
Choosing genuine expression over perfect performance.
It's about showing up as our true selves, imperfections and all. I love that. What about day 6?
Day 6 is perhaps the most playful and challenging. It's about deliberately doing something imperfectly and embracing the discomfort.
Wait, are you suggesting we intentionally mess things up?
Think of it as a way to break free from the tyranny of perfectionism.
Oh,
It could be wearing a mismatched outfit or trying a new recipe without worrying about the outcome.
okay.
It's about proving to yourself that you can handle imperfection
Yeah.
and that it doesn't diminish your worth.
That's a really interesting challenge. It's about letting go of the need for control and embracing the messiness of life.
Exactly. And then finally, we arrive at day 7.
A day of celebration.
It's about recognizing the courage it took to face those inner opponents and choose authenticity over the illusion of perfection.
It's about honoring the journey, even with all its stumbles and setbacks, and realizing that the journey never really ends.
Bruce Lee's philosophy is all about embracing that ongoing process of growth and evolution.
And finding the strength and flexibility to navigate the inevitable challenges of life, just like water.
This has been such a fascinating exploration. Bruce Lee's wisdom extends far beyond the martial arts. He offers a roadmap for anyone seeking to master their inner world and live a more authentic and fulfilling life.
His message is as relevant today as it was decades ago. Be water, my friend. Be yourself.
And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive. We hope you found this exploration of Bruce Lee's philosophy as insightful and inspiring as we have.
Remember, the journey to self-mastery is ongoing. It's a journey worth taking. Keep fighting for the freedom to be who you truly are.